Hey guys, welcome back to Beth's What's for Dinner, and this week's a special one because it is the collab with Home with Tanya. This is the third video of the three videos we did for this week as a collab or weekend with. She calls it a weekend with Beth, and I call it a weekend with Tanya. And as you can see, these meals that I've cooked this week and the dessert. And so we're going to kick it off with the first meal was going to be a chicken dinner. And it was a honey garlic baked chicken drumstick. Oh my gosh, guys, this was delicious. Now, as you can probably tell by the window, I started this the night before because I had to make the marinade. The marinade did have quite a bit of ingredients. I will have the recipe linked below. It had olive oil in it. And let's see, it had, a sesame oil in it. It also had low sodium soy sauce in it. Worcestershire sauce. I can never say that. And it has lemon juice, honey, garlic, ginger root, black pepper, kosher salt, and some red pepper flakes. And as you see, I have put my gallon bag in my little bag holder stand. Makes it so much easier with recipes like this. And then I'm going to get all this added to the bag, and then I'm going to add my drumsticks to it, and then I'm going to just kind of squish it all together, and then I'm going to put it in my refrigerator and let it marinate overnight. Do not let all these ingredients scare you off of this dish. As you see, I was trying to get a measuring spoon. There's my head, and there's my night head, and it's fixing to be bed head, but not quite yet. I had to get me a measuring cup and to add these ingredients. But do not, like I was saying, let all these ingredients scare you, because this is very easy. That's just the marinade, and it was. After you get this marinade made, you will see that the next morning you'll see me how I get my pan. I put some foil in it, and then I still spray the foil just for easy cleanup. And you just literally pour this into that pan, bake it in the oven, and at 375 for like 45 to 50 minutes, guys. And I am telling you, it was so delicious. I also had macaroni and cheese and English peas to go along with it. You will probably notice anytime I cook macaroni and cheese, I usually have English peas with it. I don't know. That's just kind of how it rolls around here. I was so excited, or I am so excited to be doing this collab with Home with Tanya. I have known Tanya for, oh my gosh, a couple of, almost from the beginning of when I started my channel, and I've gone to Utah one time to get to see her and go to a Stampin' Up! Conference with her. She's came down here 2 or 3 times. She travels a lot for work, so which is blessed for me. Sometimes also blessed for her, but blessed for me because I get to see her when she travels this way. And she has made a birthday trip, just a special birthday trip here. And so we're just good friends, and we decided to do a weekend together. We may not could be together face to face, but we can be together on YouTube. So that's what kind of sparked this 3-video weekend collab. And so, guys, oh, I'm telling you, you have to try this dish. Good morning. See, I told you it'd be the next day. I went ahead and just sprayed my pan. I always do that to make sure easy cleanup. Then I just added this sheet of foil. Just literally pour that whole bag of chicken and the marinade in the pan and cook it in the oven, guys. and it turned out so beautiful and so tasty. Okay, guys, the second dinner is going to be a double-decker taco. I'm trying to copycat Taco Bell. So first of all, I've got some of the shredded lettuce. I had ordered a head of lettuce, but Walmart substituted this already shredded lettuce for me. So I've put it in a little divider or Tupperware kind of container. And then I'm going to chop up some onion and put it in the other side. This is more or less just the prep for the tacos. And then I have shredded cheese for it. I have sour cream for it. And so I'm just trying to get everything prepped and ready to go. Okay, so after I got my vegetables prepped, now I'm going to prep and cook my taco shells. I'm going to do 6 of these because it was going to be me, Keith, and Maddie. Or maybe I did 8 of them. I don't remember. We're fixing to find out, though, because we were going to get Maddie this night. This is one of the crazy days this last week. Kenzie had to go to the emergency room. Kenzie, being my granddaughter, because she kind of passed out at school, and so they did some tests. Everything was fine. It's what I kind of figured. They figured dehydration. She plays volleyball. She's athletic, and I don't think she was drinking and eating enough. So everything is fine now. But this night we had Maddie, her older sister, with us for dinner while they were at the hospital, which was not actually very nice. So anyway, I did 8 of them, guys. I did 8 of them. So I'm going to cook these, and then we're going to get started with the refried beans. Okay, guys, now I'm going to do my refried beans. This is probably not a new recipe for some of you, but some of you may be new coming from Tanya's channel. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how. This is how I always cook my refried beans for any Spanish, Mexican style meal that we have. And I don't know what I'm doing right now besides letting you watch a can of beans sit there by the pan. I don't know if I'm testing to see if the beans is going to jump in the pan or what. There we go. I was after some spices. So I finally get my spices down there, guys. I'm sorry about that. You're going to see that I use chili powder, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and of course pepper. You know I've got to have pepper in everything. And you're going to see that I also add some oil, a little bit of oil in it. And that was just something that my mother-in-law taught me. And her refried beans was always so good. And there's my taco shells finished out of the oven. And there's the flour tortillas to go on top of those. So I'm getting it all ready. So we're going to go back to the beans. You're going to see me mix all that up. And then I'm going to just heat it up on top of the stove and get it warm. And then we'll get started on the meat. Okay, guys, now we're just going to start with some 90-10 lean hamburger meat that we had vacuum sealed, that we had got at Sam's, I believe it was. And so I'm just going to brown this on top of the stove and just cook it like the taco direction says. Add 3/4 of a cup after it gets brown. Add the taco seasoning. And that's all it was to that. And then we're going to get all this together, and I'll come back and I'll make one with you. Okay, guys, as you see, I got my taco made like you'd make your taco anytime on the hard shell. And then I'm just using that soft tortilla. I did not heat it up or nothing. You could, but I didn't. And I'm just adding the hot refried beans and spread it all over there. And then I'm going to get my taco and put right in the middle of it and fold it up. And guys, I love this. I love it. And then for 2 reasons. One thing, it tastes really good. The second reason is it makes the taco so less messy. I'm telling you, so less messy. And they were so good. And then we're going to move on to the third meal, which was a beef stew. And guys, this was the easiest ever. I just used the McCormick beef stew seasoning mix there. And oh my gosh, it was so good. So we had 3 cups of water, and I added about 2 tablespoons of this Nor beef flavor bouillon to that water. Because I didn't call for that, but I just wanted to add a little bit more beef to it. And also, I'm going to season the stew meat with that Montreal steak season, which I already have, as you see right there. I've got potatoes and onions chopped up there in that strainer, and I've got my carrots and the flour I need that we're going to I believe Keith does it actually. He's going to spread the flour on top of the beef mixture for you. Yes, Keith helps me with this meal. And then we're going to do this in the Instant Pot, guys. This was the easiest beef stew ever, and it tasted so good. We did not add any other seasonings besides the McCormick Montreal steak seasoning there on the stew meat and that McCormick stew mix for the whole meal. It was awesome. So Keith put a little bit of oil in the Instant Pot, turned it on saute, and then after he had floured the stew meat, he's going to sear it really good because that just kind of puts the juices into the stew really good. And once he gets that done, you're going to see all he's going to do is just add the water with the beef bouillon powder in it. He's going to add the McCormick stew seasoning to it. Then the vegetables. We're going to put it on the lid on it, and we're going to hit the beef stew soup button here on the Instant Pot. It's going to cook for 35 minutes. Once it comes up to pressure, I let it natural release until it was finished for about 20 minutes. And guys, this was so delicious. I didn't even have to add seasoning to it. And if y'all know me, I am a seasoning junkie. I always add seasoning to stuff, but I didn't have to this meal. Okay, guys, this is after it has cooked and has naturally released. Just for safety precautions, Keith is going to push it to the side to make sure all the steam is out and the pressure is all gone out of the pressure cooker. And he's going to open it up. And guys, look at that stew. Oh my gosh, it was so good. The easiest and the quickest stew I've ever made. I am just so used to stew taking all day long, either on top of the stove or even a slow cooker to make it where it really tastes really good and get all the seasonings in there. But this, you would never know it was not slow cooked all day with that stew gravy. Oh my gosh, between that flour and that mix, I guess, what's helped thicken that juices up. So delicious. Okay, guys, now on for the fourth dinner. It's pork chops. I'm going to start off, though, showing you this can of green beans that's from Glory Foods. It's seasoned Southern-style green beans with potatoes. I will tell you, those potatoes will kind of cook away. We added all I did was add just a little bit of olive oil to it, just because that's how I've always done it. And now we're going to get started on these pork chops. Guys, they were so good. First of all, we're going to start with seasoning the flour. I'm doing this like my mother taught me. This was how my mother fried her pork chops. Yes, it's fried. I know it's not the healthiest, but I wanted to share one of my mother's recipes this week. So she just always put the flour in like a plate. She put some salt and pepper in there. She never measured anything. She just kind of looked at it and done what she kind of thought, and that's kind of what I do. I want to make sure I can see that black pepper in there. Y'all know me and my pepper. And once I get all this flour mixed up, you're going to see me season the pork chops with some seasoning salt. And then what we'll do after we do that, we will dredge the pork chops in the flour, and no egg mixture, nothing. Just dredge the raw pork chop in the flour. And then I dispose what flour is left over after that, since I wasn't making any gravy tonight. If you were making gravy, you could use that flour. Well, my mom always did. Now, I don't know if that's the right way today, they say, but that's what my mother always did. So as you see, I'm seasoning this meat. I am going to then dredge it in the flour, and then Keith is going to cook them for us. Okay, guys, now Keith is going to cook them for us. He's got the grease nice and hot. He's got the stove on about medium heat, and he's going to cook these about 5 minutes on each side. And guys, they turn out so delicious. You're going to see he uses a screen protector on top of that to protect Aunt B. Aunt B can't get grease on it. She's too new. Aunt B is my stove, if anybody doesn't know that. I just got the stove and I named her Aunt B. I've also got the green beans with potatoes on a back burner over there, as you see, just simmering away, and let them just kind of simmer. I'll show you that a picture in a minute, and you'll see Keith taking these out of the pan as they get done. Mouth watering. I'm telling y'all, these were so good. I always try to tell y'all my favorite meal of the week, and I have to honestly say it was this pork chop and green bean meal that was my favorite this week. Okay, guys, there, my stuff to get ready to make my grape jelly. And so here is our meal for tonight. There's our dessert for tonight. You're fixing to see a recipe of that coming right up. But oh my gosh, I'm telling y'all, those pork chops will melt in your mouth, pork chops. And the green beans were very good. Like I said, the potatoes all kind of cooked away, but we didn't eat potatoes anyway. Now for the dessert for this week, a strawberry cobbler. Very, very easy. And I'm telling y'all guys, it couldn't be any easier. We're going to start off by getting put a half a cup. Oh, well, I'm going to show you what kind of cobbler. Strawberry cobbler, the strawberry pie filling. Just all you need is just a can of it. And then we're going to start off by getting that half a cup of butter, which is a stick of butter. We're going to put it called for a 9x9 dish, but I didn't have a 9x9 dish. I only had an 8x8 dish. I was trying to show y'all where that says on the butter that whole stick is a half a cup. And then I'm going to put that in the microwave for about 1 minute and 20 seconds, and it melts it perfectly. And while that's doing it, we're going to make the cobbler batter. The cobbler batter was very, very easy. It calls for a cup of sugar, but y'all know I always half my sugar in Splenda. So this is a fourth of a cup measuring cup. So I'm going to put 2/4 of a cup of regular sugar in there, and I'm going to put 2/4 of a cup of Splenda, which will, of course, if you have trouble with math sometimes like I do, that's 1 cup. And then we're going to add 3/4 cup of flour, a half a teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and we're going to mix all that up. And then you're going to want to add 3/4 cup of milk to that and get that all mixed up. And then we're going to pour that into that batter into that melted butter. And then we're going to just spoon. And we're not going to stir that batter with the melted butter. You're just going to pour that batter right on top of the butter. And then we're going to spoon some of that strawberry pie filling over the batter and not stir it either. And bake it for 50 minutes in a 350-degree oven, guys. And oh my gosh, it is so pretty. Okay, guys, and this cobbler turned out so delicious, too. You could make this with any pie filling you wanted to make. Any kind of cobbler you'd want to make, with any kind of pie filling you had. Even if you had homemade canned pie filling. And again, guys, I hope you like this. If you're from Tanya's channel, I hope you stick around and hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I do videos. And welcome to my new subscribers. Thank you for coming over. And don't forget to go check out Tanya's What's for Dinner. Oh my gosh, that woman can cook. So be sure and check hers out because I know you'll enjoy it too. And I hope y'all have a wonderful week next week. And love you guys. Bye.